Hello and welcome to another episode of Travel Chef. And now we are in Nandi Hills. And we have come here, we started at 6 a.m. in the morning, came here, and there is a lot of traffic jam also. But anyways, we braved the traffic jam and we have to get inside to see this place. It's a very beautiful place, it seems. So ideal time to come here would be early mornings. Preferably, please do not come here when there is a holiday because it's going to be a huge crowd. So, but the climate is pretty cold and it's nice and cozy over here. But we are enjoying ourselves. We should definitely come here in the mornings. So let's see and let's explore Nandi Hills together. So come on. Good morning, folks. And today it's 5 a.m. in the morning. And we thought of taking a drive to a place called Nandi Hills. That's in Chikkaballapur. It's around 55 to 60 kilometers out of Bangalore. So we wanted to see the sunrise. Well, now we are ready to go to Nandi Hills and it is going to be a good drive. It's a little break also. So we are around 50. It is around 55 kilometers from here and it's around 5 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, we are going to start. So how about how's the weather over there? Any idea?
I don't know. I think it's too cold. It will be too cold there. I'm first time to Nandi Hills, so I want to experience it.
So let's go and join us also along with us to see Nandi Hills. Start our journey by passing through a Veeranapalya bridge, which is the first stop to reach Nandi Hills. In fact, the traffic is not much in the morning and we are able to zip past the flyovers in Hebbal. Also, we see a lot of buildings and corporate offices that are set up in this place. Once we left the city, immediately the climate started to change and we are engulfed in dense fog. Now we pass through the toll gates of airport and it's a very beautiful sight to see. Once again we are surrounded with fog and we are not able to see even the car in front of us. But in fact it was a superb driving in the dark with full fog around us. What a sight. As we are reaching our destination, still more there is huge fog around us and it was little difficult driving at this point of time. We see it's a lovely misty morning and the sunlight is starting to come out, but it was fully foggy, so it was a very beautiful and cold weather. In fact, we stopped our car for a break and we wanted to capture the beauty of the fog along with the early morning sun, and this is how it was. Nandi Hills has a very fertile plain and here we get very good grapes, and these are the grape fields that we pass through. It is what a beautiful sight with all the mist in the grape field. It was worth the drive. Now the cover of fog has gone away and we are right now at the foothills of the Nandi Hills, where we have to drive on top to see the beauty of nature. In fact, at the foothills there are a lot of amenities as well as small eateries that serve breakfast and coffee or tea for all the visitors who come to see the Nandi Hills. By now it is past 6 o'clock and the sun has already started to come out onto the hills. Now we passed through a grove of eucalyptus trees and the smell of those eucalyptus was amazing. Passed through a very beautiful painting of God Hanuman. As we drive along, we see daybreak and the beautiful sun and the clouds where people stand to watch and take the beauty. There are also a lot of selfies too was taken as people stood and watched the sunrise. Now we have reached to the last hairpin bend and we are almost reaching our destination. As we took our turn, we were wondering why people were cutting across the road like chicken. Suddenly we had a very good surprise and we were stuck in a huge traffic jam. And the best way we thought is to maintain lane discipline and we just stood over there in line. Finally, we were able to get out of one traffic jam and this was the sight we saw when we escaped the first traffic jam. What a beautiful scene of the entire city. Just to get a glimpse of the number of visitors visiting Nandi Hills in this time of the day, we can see the number of cars that are parked over there below. As we drive along, we see many people walking up to the Nandi Hills. I feel that was a smart decision. Just park the car below and then walk it up to the summit. That would have been a better idea. We found a slot for parking our cars and once we see that there are many such cars that are parked, it's like a sea of vehicles. Also we were greeted by beautiful monkeys over there. In fact, the cars were parked under old tree houses that was already built. And in this place both humans and monkeys walk the same trail. Well, we just happened to see our ancestors. By the way, we wanted to tell you that there is an entry cost of 175 rupees if you come by car. In fact, this is the view while climbing the hill. We are still yet to reach the viewpoint, which is quite a distance away. And we are close to the car park as of now. In fact, there is two options in climbing the hill. Either you climb over the rocks or next you take the stairways as my father had done. This is another breathtaking view that we see. We were in for another surprise where it was like as if the entire Bangalore was standing over there to watch the sunrise at Nandi Hills. For all the pain and effort we took to come to the Nandi Hills, nature has really rewarded us. And this is the beauty that we see, ladies and gentlemen. It is like as if we were standing on top of the clouds. Wow, nature is truly awesome. In fact, it is like a sea of clouds and there is no end to these clouds. Ideally, the best time to visit Nandi Hills is between September and February. And this is where you will see the beauty of Nandi Hills. It's just beautiful. Sea of clouds. We are not at Nandi Hills and this is the crowd over here, but it's worth the wait as well as it is worth the watch. How do you find it?
Unexpected this, it's like a sea of clouds.
It's a sea of clouds and yeah, there was a long queue, but ultimately it's worth your drive over here. Now let's go down and see the clouds too. So let's go down. It's neither too hot as well as cold over here, but it's a beautiful sight, and it's ideally people should come at 6 a.m. in the morning and get a beautiful view of this place. But be sure that you'll be facing a lot of traffic and a lot of people over here, especially in the holidays. If you come, it's going to be too much of traffic over here, and be careful of social distancing. There's nothing called social distancing over here. As a precaution, we have used masks at the end because we just don't want to infect ourselves. Yeah, but just be careful. Be well aware that there will be a lot of crowd over here when you come. So take a precaution. Pack up some food because there's not much of there's a lot of queue over here in the hotels at this time. So pack some food and then come here so that you can enjoy the place. It's like a little picnic over here once you come. So you can spread your mat, sit down, enjoy some food, and then watch the view and then go back home. Clouds, we can get the clouds. In fact, there's another vantage point over here where you can see the mountains without the clouds. This is a site where all the picnickers or the tourists come down and sit on the rocks to gaze at the sky as well as to have a little chit chat. Another super sight to see. In fact, standing on top of the mountain, you can see little towns over there. We are in another vantage point of Nandi Hills, and this is a crowd over here as well as it's a beautiful scene too. Highly, it's a worth drive from Bangalore. On one of these hills, we find a small shrine dedicated to Lord Nandi. And this is the small shrine. They have cut small steps in the rocks for people to walk up to the main shrine or the temple. And this is the main temple over there on Nandi Hills. For getting into the temple, we need to place our footwear outside. So I have asked my parents to sit out because they were already tired of walking up the Nandi Hills. So let's get into the temple and see how is it. Also, it's a very superb place for prayer and little meditation. Devotees can purchase offerings such as coconut to be offered inside the temple. Inside the temple, there's a temple in Nandi Hills, And this is a small temple inside where we are going to see what is this temple. In fact, this temple is called Yoga Nadishwara Temple, and this is one of the oldest temples, and this was made during the Chola period. So there was a lot of history behind this temple. As we see inside the temple, they have left square boxes where devotees need to stand in queue as social distancing. In fact, this is where the sanctum sanctorium of the deity lies, and we feel that this temple might be dedicated to Lord Shiva. However, we may be proved wrong too, so it is better that somebody, if you know it, please let us know whether this temple is really dedicated to Lord Shiva. We had a good time, and now we thought of going back home. So we have used the stairs and then we get back to the same parking slot. In fact, Nandi Hills was a little resort for all Britishers who came into Bangalore or into Karnataka, and this is the wall that safeguarded the city. But it was a worth sight, as well as it was a very good time that you can spend with family. As a word of precaution, please be careful about the monkeys because they tend to snatch away your food as you carry it in your hand. For watching our video, and we request you to like, share and comment on our channel if you found our video really useful and informative. And we hope you liked the scene in Nandi Hills too. Of course, behind us there are a lot of super bikes flying around. Actually, most of the people come over here from Bangalore to visit this place. So it is a very interesting and very lovely place, and a lot of beauty and scenery over here. So please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Well, until the next video, take care, stay safe. Bye bye.